Hey, what's up guys, Melrain here, and today I'm going to be showing you my autofill command that I made for Discord bots. Now, this can be very useful if you have lots of commands and users type in commands quite a bit in your server. So basically how it works is if you type in part of a word, it'll autofill the rest of it, and essentially the bot thinks you typed in the whole word. So I have this ping pawn command here. If I type ping, obviously it responds with pawn, but if I typed in P, it would also respond with pawn. Now, there's one other thing I can show you. So I also have this command, which is by dogs max. I just type in the whole thing, and it tells me you have bought max dogs. Or if I did B D O M, it would also tell me the same thing. Now, if I did by D max, since there's also a command called by ducks, it would ask me which one do I mean, ducks or dogs. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Let's hop over into Visual Studio Code and I'll show you how you can set it up. Alright, so over here in Visual Studio Code, as you can see, we got a pretty standard bot set up here. Nothing really happening on the ready function, on the message function. Just standard message, content to lowercase, and then our args. I call them raw args here because this autofill function, which I'll get to in a second, it will most likely return different arguments, obviously autofilling the commands. So autofill, this function over here, you just send your message and your arguments, and then if the arguments are null, we want to make sure we set the args back to the raw ones. Then I got two commands here. If args to index to 0 equals ping, send pawn, and then by, and it sends this. But we were at least able to see what happened with that when I showed you that in the beginning. But let's go over to this function over here. So this function works by a list of commands, which is right here, the command list. Alright, so this autofill command, which does return a promise. The reason why I did that is just to make sure all these loops and stuff get done before you move on. It probably would work without it, but I just did this to be sure. And then when you're back here, you can do a dot then, whatever's returned. Otherwise, you could do a wait if you wanted, if you're in an async function. Anyways, command, which command we're on. The possible would be like for the very first one, by or ping. Then final command is going to be like what's returned. And then there's a few other variables here. But basically it just loops through all of your commands. All this right here checks for the next one. Like, so if you do by, it sees if there's something here named by, and then does that. Otherwise, you basically just figure out how many are possible by using substrings here and going from like letter to letter. And if there's more than one possible and it doesn't know which one you want, that's where you get this. There were multiple commands. You may have meant possible ones, and then there they are. And then it resolves null. If there's only one, obviously it's that one, so you push that to the final command list and then continue. And if there's no possible, I have this in to just add the word. You could take this out and then it would bring up this. I'm not sure what you're trying to do, but I just left that in there because then you don't necessarily have to have word for word up here. Like if the last word doesn't match up, it'll just push that along anyways. But I mean, that's pretty much it. So this is a different file. I just put it as a different file, and then I simply did module.exports.autofill equals autofill. Otherwise, you could do, you could put this function in here, no problem. It's really up to you. And you could also make this in a JSON file if you wanted. Obviously, you just have to make sure that command list here is equal to that JSON file. But that's pretty much it. I haven't had any problems with it. If you guys have any problems, let me know. I'll try to address them as soon as I can. If this did help you out, please join the Discord, and I really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope this helps your bot.